In the year 2378, humanity teetered on the brink of extinction. The galaxy had become a battlefield, dominated by ancient alien empires and enigmatic threats lurking in the dark voids. Earth, once the beacon of human civilization, was now a distant memory, its surface scorched in the wake of a devastating war. The remnants of humanity had fled to scattered colonies, struggling to survive against relentless alien forces. Among the ruins of a forgotten era, a legend persisted. A fleet of ships constructed during humanity's golden age, hidden away in the uncharted regions of space. This fleet, the Forgotten Armada, was said to be equipped with technology far beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. It was humanity's last hope. The beacon captain Lyra Cade stood on the bridge of the Erebus, a battered frigate leading a convoy of refugees. Her ship, though outdated and barely holding together, was the only thing standing between the colonists and annihilation by the Zeeth, a ruthless alien race that saw humans as vermin. "Captain, we're receiving a signal," her communications officer said, a mix of excitement and disbelief in his voice. "It's ancient, pre-war human code." Lyra frowned. "Patch it through." Static crackled through the speakers before a voice, synthetic and monotone, echoed across the bridge. "To any surviving human vessels, this is the Forgotten Fleet AI command node. Coordinates attached. Humanity's salvation lies here." The bridge went silent. Lyra's heart pounded. The Forgotten Fleet was a myth, a desperate hope for a species on the brink. Yet, here was proof. A beacon calling them to a remote star system at the edge of the galaxy. She leaned over the command console, studying the coordinates. They were deep in uncharted space, far beyond any known trade routes or colonies. "Set course," Lyra ordered. "If this is real, it's our only chance." The crew worked in unison, navigating the Erebus and the convoy toward the mysterious signal. Yet, as they prepared for the jump, doubts lingered among them. "Captain," said Marcus, the ship's grizzled engineer, "if this is a trap, we're leading everyone to their deaths." "I know the risks, Marcus," Lyra replied, her gaze steady, "but we're already living on borrowed time. If there's even a chance this is real, we have to take it." The ship's engines roared as the Erebus initiated the jump. The convoy followed, each vessel flickering into the void one by one. As the stars blurred into streaks of light, Lyra stood at the viewport, her mind racing with possibilities and fears. The journey through hyperspace was tense. The crew exchanged theories from hopeful speculations to grim warnings. Lyra took solace in the silence of her quarters, reviewing ancient data logs about the Forgotten Fleet. One entry caught her attention, a message from a long-dead admiral. "The Forgotten Fleet is not just a weapon, it is a promise to our future. A testament to our resilience. When all else fails, humanity will rise again." The wastelands. The journey to the coordinates took them through the wastelands, a region of space littered with the remnants of ancient wars. Here, rogue AI drones and derelict ships floated aimlessly, hazards to any who dared venture through. The convoy was made up of a dozen ships, many of them civilian vessels barely spaceworthy. Families, traders, and scavengers had joined under Lyra's leadership, clinging to the hope that somewhere, safety awaited. The Erebus was their shield, but it was not invincible. The wastelands tested their resolve. One night, as the crew slept, an automated defense system aboard a centuries-old battleship came online, mistaking the convoy for an enemy force. The Erebus barely managed to disable the rogue ship's weapons before they sustained critical damage. But the encounter left scars physically and emotionally. "Captain, we've got movement," the sensor officer reported one day. "Unidentified craft closing fast." "Zeeth?" "Likely," the officer confirmed grimly. Moments later, a Zeeth warship emerged from the shadows of a shattered moon. It was sleek and deadly, its hull glistening like obsidian under the dim light of the distant star. Without hesitation, it opened fire. "Divert all power to the engines," Lyra barked. "We're not dying here," the Erebus managed to outmaneuver. The Zeeth ship, slipping into a dense asteroid field where the enemy dared not follow. But the cost was high. 3 civilian ships were lost, and the frigate's hull was riddled with damage. After the battle, Lyra convened her officers. "We can't keep running forever," she said, her voice heavy with exhaustion. "That fleet better be real. Ghosts of the past." When the convoy finally reached the coordinates, they found nothing but an empty star system. Disappointment and despair gripped the crew. "Wait," Lyra's sensor officer said, squinting at the readings. "There's something, a massive structure, hidden behind the star's magnetic field." The Erebus crept closer, and the truth was revealed. An immense space station, surrounded by hundreds of sleek, dormant ships. The Forgotten Fleet. As the convoy docked, the station systems powered up, and an AI hologram appeared before them. It was a humanoid figure, shimmering in blue light. "Welcome, survivors of Earth," the AI said. "This fleet was designed to safeguard humanity in its darkest hour. That hour is now." Exploring the station, Lyra and her team uncovered records of its creators, a coalition of visionaries who had foreseen humanity's decline and built the fleet as a safeguard. Among the records were messages from the past, pleas to future generations not to repeat the mistakes that led to Earth's fall. Lyra found herself standing in front of a recording of a woman who looked eerily like her. "To those who find this," the woman said, her voice trembling with emotion, "know that we believed in you, in your ability to rise above our failures, do better, survive." The trials activating the fleet wasn't simple. The ship's systems were locked behind layers of security protocols, requiring codes lost to time. The AI, which called itself Orion, offered guidance, but the process was fraught with challenges. This station was designed to act as a fortress, Orion explained, capable of producing advanced weapons, ships, and even terraforming tools. But without full activation, its potential remains locked. Meanwhile, tensions rose among the refugees. Some doubted the fleet's capabilities. Others questioned Lyra's leadership. As supplies dwindled, desperation threatened to tear the group apart. Lyra called a meeting. "We don't have time for doubts," she said. "The Zaith are coming, and if we don't stand together, we're already dead." The AI revealed a series of trials designed to test the mettle of any who sought to command the fleet. Lyra and her team faced simulated battles, ethical dilemmas, and physical challenges, all while racing against the clock. One trial involved a decision to sacrifice a ship to save the rest. The simulation felt agonizingly real, and the crew's reactions left Lyra questioning her choices. "If this is a test, it's cruel," she muttered. "But we have no choice." The Battle of the Forgotten Fleet. The Zaith arrived in overwhelming force, their fleet blotting out the stars. The refugees watched in terror as the enemy prepared to strike. "We're out of time," Lyra said, staring at the enemy armada on the view screen. "Activate what we have. We fight now." One by one, the ships of the Forgotten Fleet powered up. Their sleek designs and glowing engines were unlike anything the refugees had seen. The Aurora, the fleet's flagship, took center stage, piloted by Lyra herself. The AI, Orion, coordinated the fleet with precision, exploiting every weakness in the Zaith formation. The battle was chaotic, with the Erebus and other smaller ships buying time for the fleet to reach full activation. As the Aurora unleashed its experimental weapons, beams of light sliced through the Zaith vessels, disintegrating them in flashes of energy. The fleet moved with surgical precision, forming defensive perimeters while striking the Zaith where they were most vulnerable. The battle became a symphony of destruction, orchestrated by the combined efforts of Orion and Lyra. The Zaith retaliated with devastating force. Their flagship, an enormous dreadnought bristling with weapons, loomed over the battlefield, firing relentless salvos at the Forgotten Fleet. The Erebus, though heavily damaged, managed to intercept a critical missile aimed at the civilian convoy, sacrificing its engines in the process. "Lyra, we can't hold them much longer," Marcus's voice crackled through the comms. "The Erebus is crippled." "You've done enough, Marcus," Lyra said, her voice firm. "Hold position and protect the convoy." The Aurora charged forward, its advanced shields absorbing the dreadnought's fire. Lyra's hands flew over the controls, her focus unbreakable. "Orion, we need to disable that ship." "Acknowledged," the AI replied, redirecting power to the main cannon. A blinding beam of energy erupted from the Aurora, striking the Zaith dreadnought. The enemy ship's shields buckled under the assault, its hull cracking apart in a chain reaction of explosions. The destruction of their flagship sent the Zaith fleet into disarray, their formations breaking as panic spread. Despite the victory, the cost was high. Many of the Forgotten Fleet's ships were damaged, and the Erebus was barely operational. The refugees cheered, their hope rekindled, but Lyra knew the war was far from over. The final stand with the Zaith fleet in retreat, Lyra gathered her officers and Orion to plan the next move. The Forgotten Fleet had proven its worth, but the battle had only been a prelude to the larger war that awaited. "We've won a battle, not the war," Lyra said. "But today we've shown that humanity will not go quietly into the night." The refugees, inspired by the fleet's power and Lyra's leadership, began training and rebuilding. Engineers worked tirelessly to repair the ships, while scientists delved into the station's archives, uncovering ancient technologies that could turn the tide of the war. As Lyra stood on the bridge of the Aurora, staring into the endless void, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. The Forgotten Fleet was more than a collection of ships. It was a symbol of humanity's resilience, a testament to their ability to endure and fight back. "This isn't the end," she whispered to herself. "It's just the beginning." If this story inspired you, Sci-Fi Stories, stay tuned for more epic tales, the galaxy.